Welcome back to the vlog. Kato here, and today we're playing cards. Today I'm playing in the 2-5 game, $700 buy-in, and when I buy into the 2-5 game, I like to take it a little slower at the start than in the 1-3 games. I want to make sure that I size up the table, play correctly. I've got a lot of money on the line, so hands like King-Jack offsuit, out of position, I'm just going to toss it away today, or at least I'm going to try. The dealer pitches me King-Queen offsuit. I'm in the small blind. The undergun player limps, and then the button juices it up to 25, and right away, I'm already going against my game plan. Just flat calling this in the small blind, not a good idea. The big blind calls, the under the gun player completes, $100 in the pot, 4-way action going to the flop, and the dealer drops 3, 5, 10. I'm in the worst position with 3 people behind me. I check, and it checks all the way around to the button, who decides to check as well. I'm getting a free card, and it comes out the ace of clubs, giving me some equity. Now I can hit a jack for a straight, but I'm still going to check, and the big blind to my left throws out 20. Action folds around back to me. I'm the only player left in the hand, and I sense a little bit of weakness. I sense an opportunity to attack, and so that's exactly what I do, putting the pressure back on my opponent. Even if my opponent has an ace, there's a lot to be scared of on this board. And my opponent folds, my bluff paid off. I get rid of the hand as quickly as possible, get rid of that junk hand that I turned into a junk bluff. Luckily, I'm scooping the pot, and it feels great scooping pots. Let's see if I can get some more. I slow down a little bit, fold some junkers. Thank you so much for your support on the last video. We definitely got YouTube's attention. The thumbs up work magic for the algorithm. Thank you so much. 828 in my stack. And then I get Queen Jack offsuit in the small blind. I learned my lesson from last time. I committed a bunch of money and absolutely nothing. So this time I'm just going to take a break out of position and fold it away and find a better spot. And my patience is rewarded. I pick up pocket 10s on the button. 826 in my stack. Folds to the hijack, who opens for $20. And I've got position. I've probably got the best hand. I'm definitely going to 3-bet it. I make it 80. The small blind takes a long peer at his cards and then tosses 80 in. Apparently he has something he wants to come along with. The original raiser, though, looks at his hand again and decides that $60 more is not worth the investment. Folds his hand away. We're going heads up to the flop. And it comes out King Ace 10. I hit my 10, and I love to see the King and Ace on the board. It would suck if he has Queen Jack, but there's a lot out there that he could have connected with. And so when he checks to me, I'm just going to start milking him. I bet 125. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any of that. And if you don't have any of it, it's a scary, scary board. He tosses his hand away, and I'm off to the races. Pretty good start. Already added $200 to my stack, sitting at 913. And the pocket pairs keep coming. Pocket queens in the low jack. This table is mixed between kind of tight and kind of loose players. All in all, it's a good table, but I really don't have a choice because it's the only 2-5 game going on right now. I throw out a healthy bet of $20, toss 4 reds at the center of the pot, and the player to my left is coming back for his money that I bluffed him off with, throws 20 in, wastes no time. I play with this guy all the time. He's always trying to get me to eat balut. Look it up. He says I'll be able to play for 36 hours straight and never lose a hand. What do you guys think? Action folds around. We're headed to the flop. 9, ace, 5. Hate to see the ace. What I've learned about playing strong pocket pairs with one overcard on the board is you have to continuation bet. If you give the initiative to the opponent, they can take control of it, and it's extremely hard to put them on a hand. It's extremely hard to get away, and you just end up being dragged into the pot with no knowledge. But that's exactly what I do. I checked my opponent, and he takes advantage of that check with a bet himself. And of course, for $20, I'm going to make the call. The turn is the 10 of spades. I check to him again. He stacks out 7 reds and puts in 35. Now, he could easily have an ace, but also I showed weakness, and so he could just be trying to bluff me, push me off the hand. An ace is a great card to bet on if your opponent seems scared, and I definitely seem weak. And I'm leaning on the side of calling, but then he leans back in his chair comfortably, grabs an apple, and takes a big bite out of it. Eating an apple? What does that mean? All right, nice hand. Show me what you have. Show the vlog. Show the vlog. Okay, that's, oh god. I have no idea what was under that deuce, but for him to call $20 pre-flop, I have a feeling it may have been the ace of spades. The next hand the dealer pitches me is a little worse than pocket queens. It's pocket jacks, middle position, 873 in my stack. I toss out 20 to open the action, and it folds all the way around to me, scooping the blinds. Speaking of the guy to my left, the link above will take you to probably one of my most ridiculous videos, and we're in a massive hand together in that one. I look down at my cards and see ace jack in the small blind. It folds around to the button, who juices it up to 20. I'm not going to believe the button has a better hand than me. It's common to bet as the button when there's only the blinds left. But my hand's not suited. I don't want to raise. I just make the call. The big blind comes along as well. 3-way action going to the flop. $60 in the pot. It comes out queen 10 deuce. Missed, but I got another gut shot straight draw. It checks all the way through, and the turn comes a 3 of diamonds. This time I'm going to take the initiative. I throw $30 in the middle of the pot, and the button wants to come along 120 in the center, and the river is the king of clubs. I'm holding the nuts in my hand. With $120 in the pot, how much money can I get out of him? The king's another overcard, but he could possibly have connected with it. And this player has a history of not believing me, so I go ahead and size up a little bit. 3/4 of the pot, $80, and $80 is a price he's willing to pay, and pay he does. Read him and weep. Hit my gut shot on the river, and I gotta say, that is a great feeling. Only second to scoop in some more chips. And I know what you're gonna say, guys. I didn't hit the run and run royal flush, but it happened at my table, and it was an incredible sight to see. The player to my left moved over to seat 5 and hit it, and I said, "Congratulations, Lambo." He looked me straight in the eyes and said one word: "Balut." I looked down at a beauty, 10-9 of spades in the small blind. Unfortunately, a lot of these hands that I've been getting have been in the small blind. The under the gun player opens for 20. The hijack calls. The cutoff calls. $67 in the pot. I want to play this hand, but I don't just want to call. I'm feeling a little momentum, so I grab 4 reds and 4 greens, toss in a $120 3-bet. The under gun player thinks about it for quite a while, decides he's going to have to let go of his hand. The hijack and cutoff quickly follow suit, and I'm happy to add 67 surrendering troops to my ranks before the battle even begins. 1099 in my stack, and I pick up ace-jack offsuit again. This time I'm in the cutoff. The under the gun player limps. Both middle position players limp. The low jack limps as well. I'm going to juice up the pot a little bit, and I do it on the smaller side simply because these aren't suited. Probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to go 35, but I don't want to commit too much. I just want to thin the field a little bit and play the remaining players in position. The middle position player calls. The low jack calls as well. 92 in the pot. We're headed to flop, and it's 6-10 deuce. Action checks to me. I'm going to continuation bet a little less than a half-size pot bet. The middle position player reaches for chips, and I notice he's not grabbing 40. He tosses 85 in, almost a min raise. The low jack folds, and action's back to me. The very first thing that comes to my head is this is a very weird board to check 3-bet on. He didn't raise pre-flop, so he doesn't have anything better than pocket jacks. He doesn't have 10-6. He doesn't have 10-deuce. That basically leaves a set of 6s, a set of 10s, and a set of deuces. I don't think he has a set of 10s because he would have raised pre-flop as well. And so that leaves his holdings with either a set of 6s, a set of deuces, or a gut shot straight draw with maybe a backdoor flush draw. I beat all of his draws, and I just am suspicious of him having 6s or deuces. And it's only $45 more for me to call into his $217 pot, so I make the call, and the turn comes out the 2 of hearts without missing a beat. He's going to continue betting, and he goes big. He makes it $150. I'm sitting here with ace high. I do have the ace heart blocker, and I've kind of whittled his story down to him telling me that he has pocket 6s. I just really don't believe him, and I think my hand may be good. I'm trusting my gut, but of course I could be extremely wrong. I could be drawing dead right now, and I still have to face a river bet. What do you guys think about my logic? Am I off my rocker, or does it make any sense? I could be getting myself into big trouble here, and I do decide to throw in $150 with absolutely nothing. The river comes out. It's a jack, top pair on the board, but this could be dangerous. Now I feel committed with top pair. I could have folded to a big bet on the river, but now I don't know if I'm going to be able to. And he's not done yet. He stacks out 4, 8, 12 greens and ships $300 into the middle of the pot. I thought to myself, well, of course, if I'm going to call $150 on the turn with nothing, because I think he's bluffing, I'm definitely going to call $300 on the river. I clinch up tight, and I ship it in. I brace for impact. If I lose this hand, I'll be $200 below my starting stack. But he says, nice call, and flips over ace-3 of spades. He was bluffing the whole time. I sniffed him out from the beginning, was on him the whole time. This one really feels great. I did hit my jack, and who knows if I would have called that $300 on the river. But the past is the past, and it doesn't last. Time to move on. Time to do something else, like shamelessly plug my card protector. Link in the description below. Time to address my first real problem of having too many chips in front of my camera. I trade the greens for blacks. 1737 in my stack, and I pick up ace-king offsuit. The hijack opens to 25. And of course, I'm going to put in a 3-bet. I make it 85. To my surprise, the small blind just flats my bet. I have noticed that he's been flatting 3-bets a little more than he probably should be this session. At the same time, if I hit a king or an ace and he starts blasting, I have to be prepared to fold to a potential set. The original bettor doesn't want to go home from the party just yet. He puts in the required chips. Already $260 in the pot, and ace-king is a notoriously dangerous hand. The flop comes out 5, king, 10, connect with my king. This session is going my way. and when it checks to me, I'm going to continue betting. Want to protect my hand, want to build the pot. I make it 150. The small blind gets out of the way, and the hijack folds as well. Just like a race car driver, I've slipped into a slipstream, and now I'm using that momentum to fly past my opponents, and I get pocket sixes on the button. I've already hit one set today. Is it too much to ask to hit another set? We'll see what the poker gods have in store. The unthinking player opens for 20. Action folds all the way around to me. For 20 at the 2-5 game, I'm definitely going to go hunting for my set. And right in the window is a 6, jack and ace follow. And the undergun players continue to bet. Fires out 30. I have position. He raised pre-flop from under the gun. He could very likely have an ace. If he does, he's going to continue on the turn. If he doesn't, he's going to fold the hand anyway. So I just smooth call. He's only got about 300 left behind anyways. And I'm licking my lips. I'm going for the whole stack. The beast wants to feast. The turn is a 2. A super safe card for me. I'm sure my opponent feels the same way. He grabs a stack of 20 reds, slides $100 in the middle. And once again, he's only got $270 behind him. This might be the time to pounce, but there's no flush draws possible. Only gut shot straight draws. And I'm going to continue letting him dig his own grave. I make the call, and the river is the queen of diamonds. I'm kind of expecting a jam from my opponent, or maybe a check. But he decides to go with the same $100 bet again. I'm not sure if that's showing weakness, or if he's just trying to milk me. Little does he know, I grew up in Kansas, and I have a lot more experience squeezing udders. I'm going to go for it all. I throw in 3 blacks, and he insta-calls. I flip over my hand, and he shows me ace-queen offsuit. Got a feel for that one. That queen probably made him feel so good on the river. But that 6 on the flop made me feel even better. I chip up another rack of reds to blacks, and this has turned into a monster session. $2,224 of my stack, and I look down at queen-jack. Action folds to me. I make it 15. The middle position player calls. The low jack calls as well. The big blind completes. 4-way action to the flop. $62 in the pot. And it comes out 10-7-6, giving me the flush draw. I'm going to continuation bet. I make it 30. Both the middle position and big blind call. The turn is the 2 of spades. With 2 overs and drawing to a strong flush, I'm going to continue betting, get some fold equity, build the pot in case I hit. I make it 75. And the middle position player gets out of the way, but the big blind, who's been tight all night, makes the call. The river is the 10 of hearts. I don't get there. I'm sitting with queen high, and my opponent checks to me. I have a strong desire to go for the bet, but I'm adverse to doing it when the board pairs, especially top pair. My opponent could easily have the 10, and so I check back. I flip over my hand, queen high, and he flips over king 6 of spades, 6 on the flop, spade draw on the turn. I could have taken it down with a bet on the river, but I didn't. I'm having an absolute blast this session, obviously, but sometimes when you're feeling great, that's the time to get up and go. You'll feel great on the car ride home. You'll feel great at home till your next session. No reason to sit around and wait for things to go sour. So that's exactly what I decided to do. Rack up my chips and head to the cage to turn them in to cold hard cash. In for $700, out for $2,161 for a profit of $1,461. Thank you so much for watching. Kato out.